Coach, the end of that Texas Tech game, if your defense is in that same situation, are you confident you guys would be able to stop them on like Texas?
Now that may be the toughest question I've had all year. I would hope that if we were in that situation, that just like Texas would have hoped, and is probably hoping now, that you could finish. But when you get in a circumstance like that, and things happen really fast, you never know how players are going to react. And that was a very interesting scenario. It looked like that Texas was in two-man, that their corner was in chase man technique, and the safety was over the top. And on paper, you would say we're okay. We're in good shape right there. Now, obviously, with the quarterback and the receiver, they felt otherwise and were willing to take that chance, and it worked out for them.
Well, let's change that up a little bit. Say you're on offense and you've got that same situation. You going to fire it out there to Dez or do something else?
Well, again, I don't know what play calls they have. I don't know their system. You'd have to ask Coach Leach. I'm sure he'll tell you. I mean, I'm not sure that it was a play call, or they do a lot of things that they react to the way what their defense presents, and I'm sure that's what he felt comfortable with, and obviously it's a very good decision.
He said he called it earlier. The play is called 6 because he feels like they're always going to score when they call it.
It's a good reason.
If you're presented with that, though, you've got to kick a 45-yard field goal or fire it in the end zone.
Again, 8 seconds is enough for another play, and so it's hard for me to say what they were. And I know you're asking me what I would do.
I don't know what the timeout situation was.
They had a timeout. They had a timeout, so they had the opportunity. Most offenses would think we can run a play, and if your quarterback is experienced enough to know that if he throws on time, and even if it's complete and short and the clock doesn't stop, you should be able to call a timeout if you can find the guy behind you. And now the coaches can do it on the side, so you got a pretty good chance of that happening. That would be what most people would think. Now, I don't know, or not trying to say what their thought process was, but I would say most people would say that.
That same thing, would you call a 40-yard pass to the end zone and risk running out the clock, or would you go for short play?
Well, again, I don't know for sure what their concept was. That's really hard for me to say.
Mike, why is your defense better equipped to handle check now versus last year or previous year?
Well, I think we're a better defense. I think we have more maturity and we understand their scheme. We've got more speed, and I think they've had some confidence. This will be a real challenge for them. And even though we've played Missouri and we've played Houston that have similar offenses, with what Tech does, they're pretty polished on what they do. I mean, they're pretty good at it. There's some times they'll have some ups and downs, but overall, they're pretty good at what they do. So it'll be a real challenge for them.
Mike, do you have confidence if you get to a situation where Kick wins the game, Dan can come through for you?
Yes. He's much better now than he was even 2 weeks ago. And part of that's from experience and playing on the road and going through that situation. You can't coach or teach that. You got to go out there and do it. And I'm much more confident in him now than I was even when we traveled to Missouri.
How did the offensive line grade out this week, and your thoughts about their play overall?
Good. They played very well. They were somewhat physical. Not as physical as we want them to be, but better. And they were on the right guys. I can only remember maybe 1 or 2 plays where they turned a guy loose. So I thought they played very well.
Coach, against Iowa State, when you guys got to the 1-yard line, I saw Coach Looper in your face doing this, trying to get you to throw it up to Dez, and you guys ended up calling that. You kind of have to shoot him away every once in a while and tell people to quit trying to call your plays, especially when
I'm trying to remember when that was. Did we throw to Dez?
Yeah.
That was a good decision on his part then. I'm guessing it was a touchdown if we threw it to him over there. The coaches, they're high on throwing to him when we get down in that part of the field, which is probably a pretty good choice.
Was the Ward call your call?
My call?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a play we've worked on, and it's like every other play. Those things are done Tuesday through Thursday, and it's on a piece of paper, and you get in that situation, you just call it.
The 8 years that Leach has been at Tech, there's been as much coverage or more maybe of his personality and his work. So that's him just being a pretty good offensive coach. Do you think now this kind of validates the fact that he's just a badass football coach? That the run they're having right now?
I think he's a very intelligent person. I think he's a good football coach, and I know that he likes Pirates.
Mike, can you talk about their defensive line a little bit, particularly the kid from Oklahoma?
From Noble?
Yeah.
They're playing good. They're playing very physical. 84, and he's 93, and 90, and the other one I believe is 98. They're playing much more physical and running the ball this year, in my opinion, than in the past. And they're moving side to side. You know, they've acquired some team speed. The guys up front have matured, just from what I can tell. I mean, it's 3 of those guys are the same guys as last year, but they're a year more into it, and so more experienced and playing better.
Mike, you mentioned politics earlier. Do you encourage your team to go out and vote tomorrow?
I do. I mean, I can't guarantee you that, you know, between class and practice and meetings and all that they won't sleep when they have free time, but you'd like to think they would. You know, I try not to talk a lot about political opinions and that, and just kind of keep it to myself, but I would encourage them to do that.
Are you going to vote?
I knew you were going to bring that up. Somebody told me there was a 12-hour wait at the line. Is that true?
I don't know about that.
Is that true? So I'm going to try, but if there's a 12-hour wait, that's what I heard.
12 hours worth of people in Stillwater.
That's what I heard.
Huh?
No, I would never do that. I would never cut in front of the line. Do they actually run those? Have they actually put those on TV?
Jumbo.
Oh, the jumbo. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Yeah.
Did you encourage the players when they had the?
I mean, you're getting into all my personal business.
A couple weeks ago to do that.
Did I encourage him to do what?
When they had voter enrollment here at the athletic center.
I didn't even know there was voter enrollment here in the athletic center. I did not know that. I was unaware of that.
Kind of American, aren't you?
I mean, I didn't know that there was a certain voter enrollment going on. I just didn't catch up with it. If it happens sometime after January, I'll be into it. I'll know what's going on.
Mike, last Monday, they had an announcement, Mr. Pickens donating the $63 million. We haven't talked about this west end zone much lately. 6 months away from moving in there. How excited are you? And is it
Well, we're very excited. I haven't been in there still to this day. Have not gone in there.
You ever took a tour?
Have never been in there. I figure when it's done, it's done. I mean, it's done. I mean, I'm ready to move in there, but I've not gone in there.
Do you have any input into the?
We had about 50 hours, probably cumulative hours, as an offensive staff with engineers and architects and administration and all the planning, and that did it for me. After that, I just said I'm ready to move in when it's there. I have not gone in there.
You're not curious if they did what you were asking them to lay out?
I'm guessing it's going to be a lot better than what we've ever had, and I'm ready to move in when it's ready.
On the field, how does that west end zone look with,
Really nice. It's really nice. It's very impressive. I know that the 87 and 88 group that was back here that I talked to, hard for them to believe. Anybody that's been here and been around this football program over the last 20 or 30 years, it's hard to envision what's happened here.
What was that like this weekend, that reunion of those two teams you were on?
I didn't get in on it. I mean, I had 5 minutes with them, and that was it. It was hard, but there's just not a lot of time for that.
A lot of attaboys to you.
What's that?
A lot of, congratulating you on what you've been able to do as coach.
Most of them were just talking about how all the other ones had gained a lot of weight and got gray hair. I mean, that's the truth. That's really what went on. So, all right. Thanks, guys.